calves, so many calves. And one of Kamsa's associates, a demon, for the purpose of killing Krishna and Balaram, he took the form of a calf. Very sweet-looking, innocent calf with nice lotus-like eyes. But Krishna knows everything. So as they're making the calves very happy, taking them to nice pastures to eat soft, nutritious, delicious grasses, and bringing them to the kunds and the nectarine lakes to drink water, as the gopas would play so many wonderful games. Krishna told Balaram, that calf is a demon who's come to kill us all. Balaram acknowledged. Krishna and Balaram very, very nicely walked just behind the calf, whose name was Vatsasura. And Lord Krishna suddenly grabbed the rear legs of the calf and whirled him around until the demon was dead. But Krishna likes to do many things with even one action. Because there was this tree called the kapita tree. And these fruits are very delicious. So Krishna wanted to get those fruits for his friends. So he threw the calf on the top of the kapita tree, and then all the kapita fruits fell down. So on Balaram's birthday, Rohini Devi kept him back to have Abhishekam for their little son, and also to engage him in serving the Brahmins, to give gifts and charity. We find in the scriptures, this is the way birthdays were celebrated. Because there's no greater gift than the blessings of great souls. So the little children, besides the yagyas that the great souls will perform for them, they would have the little children giving in charity. And then little children, and this is true for all of us, when the children learn that the greatest gift is the opportunity to serve great souls, then we're giving the child something wonderful. If we just give material toys and whatever else, clothes and gifts, that's fine. It's natural. But it doesn't really give a direction in life. But when we give them the value that the greatest gift we're giving is where you give gifts to others, where you serve others, where you're being blessed by others because you're of your serving. That's the gift that Rohini would give Balaram and Yashoda and Nanda would give Krishna. So Balaram was staying back to get all these yagyas and to give all these gifts to great souls. And meanwhile, when Balaram wasn't there, it was a special opportunity for Krishna to perform leelas. Because Balaram was his protector, his older brother. So on that day of Balaram Jayanti, today, we're celebrating these pastimes today. Aghasura came to Vrindavan. Balaram wasn't there. He took the form of a gigantic serpent. I'm going to summarize because of time. Aghasura opened his mouth. His lower lip was on the ground, his upper lip was in the clouds. Can you imagine a snake like that? We see little tiny snakes and we run away. Aghasura was such a snake. And the cowherd boys were so confident of Krishna's protection. When they saw Aghasura, they were playful. What is this? It looks like, the tongue looks like a superhighway. His mouth is massive. His teeth look like snow-capped mountain peaks. And because Aghasura was always eating different bodies, the rotting of the dead flesh and blood that was in his belly made his breath horrible. The cowherd boys were just noticing, it must be all the dead corpses that's making this smell. And some were saying, this is a demon. And others were thinking, this is some wonderful playground that Krishna has arranged for us. And the boy said, let's go inside. Other boys said, no, I'm not going in there. And then the cowherd boys would tell those boys, if you don't come, then we're not going to play with you anymore. Why are you afraid? Krishna will save us. After all, Aghasura, he was big as a gigantic mountain, and he swallowed Krishna, and he tried to kill us, and Krishna just bifurcated him. We have nothing to fear. So they were dancing and smiling right into the mouth of Agha. Krishna was watching. They're entering to the mouth of this demoniac snake. And after they were all inside the mouth, Krishna entered the mouth. Aghasura closed the mouth with the intention of completely disintegrating the bodies of Krishna and the cowherd boys and the calves. And being in that completely dark place with no air, all the calves and all the children, they lost their consciousness. But Krishna glanced upon them. And because nobody was looking, Yashoda Mai wasn't there, Nanda Maharaj wasn't there, the boys and the calves were all unconscious. Krishna did something, the only time he did this in his Braj Leela. He assumed an incredible form to kill a demon. Putana, he was just a little baby. He just sucked a little harder. Tranabharta, he remained the same little baby size, hardly a year old. He just became heavy. Vatsasura, just Bakasura. Even Kaliya, Krishna just danced on his hoods. But Aghasura, Krishna expanded his body bigger, and so big that no air could circulate in Agha's body, and he suffocated. At the moment of his death, his soul burst out from the top of his head into the sky, and his mouth opened. Krishna glanced upon all his friends and the calves, and they all came alive, and they were feeling well rested. They didn't know what happened exactly, but they knew that they were swallowed by this serpent, and somehow Krishna saved them, and they all came dancing out of the mouth of Aghasura, and Krishna let them all go first, and as soon as he came out, the spirit of Aghasura in the form of a light entered into Krishna's body. Aghasura was the brother of Bakasura and Putana. He was really envious and really angry at Krishna. He decided, I must kill him, and if I kill Krishna, I kill all the calves and all the cowherd boys, then all the gopas and all the gopis and all the cows and all the bulls, they will definitely die because they cannot live without their children. He came to Vrindavan with the sole purpose of exterminating the whole Brijabasi race. Such cruelty, such envy, such hatred. But yet, the cowherd boys were so happy, dancing in his mouth. And somehow or other, at the time of his death, as Krishna was suffocating him, Aghasura, through the association of Krishna and all the gopas, was feeling affection for them. And because of that affection that awoke in the last moment, Aghasura did not get impersonal liberation the way most demons do. He got elevation to the spiritual world to enter into Krishna's eternal pastimes. As did his sister Putana. So merciful is Lord Krishna. But after this, they were all very hungry. I guess when you get eaten, you get hungry. So Krishna said, let us take prasad on the bank of Yamuna today. They were especially very, very excited. With their little calves, they sat on the bank of the Yamuna, and they all had their little packets, Prabhupada called them tiffins, that their mothers would prepare for them. And oh, how they enjoyed taking prasad, how they enjoyed everything. Simplest ways of sharing joy with each other. Whatever the gopas did and whatever Krishna did was always to increase the pleasure of each other. So each one was making a special plate. Some were putting their prasad on leaves, some on flowers, some on rocks. They were all decorated in special ways by their mothers, and then they would decorate themselves in the forest.